Ever since Spider-Man entered the MCU, once we saw who the characters that were going to be involved with Peter Parker's life were, there was one thing that many people were wondering. Is the character of Ned Leeds going to become the Hobgoblin? So let's just toss up that spoiler warning just in case. So let's get to it. So longtime Spider-Man fans are very familiar with the different iterations of goblins that there has been throughout the history of the comics. Now of course, most people when they found out that there was going to be a character called Ned Leeds in the MCU assumed that this would be what they were leading up towards, introducing the Hobgoblin, since it's a new goblin version / variant that we've never seen in live action after we've already had 2 Green Goblins. Now of course, when it comes to the actual comic book character, his full name is Edward Ned Leeds, and this character would go on to take on the mantle of the Hobgoblin, but of course there's been plenty of people that have done that. Now of course, when it comes to the MCU, the actor Jacob Batalon was cast as Ned, but most people looked at him and said, well, he's overweight, so that's not gonna happen. Until now, where a new transformation photo is, well, it's changing minds. The dude looks to have dropped some serious weight and is looking in the best shape of his life. And this is right before they start shooting Spider-Man 3, so many people are speculating that this was done because, again, they're setting up the Sinister Six, they're trying to do multiple things with Spider-Man spinning off into a different, bigger world, / connecting to everything Sony is doing, and Hobgoblin could just be a good substitute for another Green Goblin. Now honestly, my belief is that they're probably not going to do this. It just seems completely out of character for Ned, who's been this like 100% supporting character with nothing to say bad about Peter, and doing such a good job to cover for him and going out of his way, that he's just gonna become a villain, especially if in the MCU they're trying to track where Peter is and he's on the run. They would obviously have people 24/7 watching Ned, since it's his best friend, unless that somehow can play into it. My guess is that he's just gotten into good shape because, well, if people looked at him, they were saying, wow, he looks way older than he is. How old is this guy? That weight isn't good for him. You guys have seen this all over the place. So again, it's something that I think he probably just did it to, better his life. Or maybe this is something that has to do with a role and they're like, hey, you gotta drop some weight, man, or something. I mean, this is Hollywood, that does happen. But it just doesn't seem like it's gonna revolve around this entire big plot where they reveal him as a Hobgoblin. Like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Maybe somehow Sony will try to do it into something. I mean, we don't know. Me personally, I just don't believe it right now. It just doesn't really match up to anything. Why the sudden turn or anything after no indication? And I know people will bring up Harry Osborn. Again, did Peter kill Ned's parents by accident? No. Like, what's he gonna be mad at him? Because they couldn't make a new Death Star out of Lego, so he becomes a maniacal killing villain?